the defense coming together, Mike?
We're coming along. It's been, we look for effort and want to and desire and just playing hard right now. We haven't even had a scrimmage yet. So in terms of that, we've come a long way from where we started. We still have a long way to go. This team's got to be the hardest playing team that there is, and that's how we're going to be successful. So until we get there, we got work to do.
Is there one part of the defense that's further along than any other part of the defense at this point?
Man, we're a unit. We're all working together. So I don't know if anybody's further along. I will say, you get a whole bunch of new guys on a unit. Even after the spring, we got a lot of new guys that weren't here in the spring. You look for leadership, for guys to step up, and really just for the whole unit to take ownership that it's their group. It's not my group, it's their group. So they got to take ownership of it, and you're starting to slowly see that. I want them to take control of it, and that's where we got to improve. The leadership and control. It's their team, it's their defense, okay? And we're going to go how they go. We got to improve there in terms of improving as a group. But position by position, I think everybody's making improvements. You see new guys showing up, guys that have been here making plays. We got work to do. I just want us to play hard.
How well did Manny and Charles mesh at UNLV, and how much has that grown since they've gotten here?
They mesh really well. I got a special pride for a linebacker room, and I make sure those guys are extremely tight. So obviously having the experience we have together, Manny, Charles, and I over the years, there is an extra added benefit to that. But it doesn't change a dang thing. To be honest with you, Alex Sanford and Manny Powell were together for a while also, and I was with both of them too. Right, so we have that too. So all of those guys working together, they have a friendship, they have a bond. They understand that they need each other. We have two different linebacker positions. They have two different names, but they play the same thing, right? And they got to be able to help each other. Charles is extremely smart, and Manny's a great, physical leader. So them together. And you had Alex Sanford, you had Sanders Ellison to it, and more guys, Owen Davis, and hopefully, we get some more guys back. It's a group, they're all tight. So, yeah, they have a background together, but there's several of them that have a background together. We brought them back together, and, we're all together in that room.
It's safe to say you got to the end of the spring and thought this was still a room that needed some more talent. And why was Charles one of the guys that you wanted to bring in for that purpose?
I know exactly who he is, You go in the transfer world, you're looking for guys that can play, obviously, and, check that box. There's a lot of guys that check that box. Then you want a guy that can come in and affect the team in a positive way. Okay, Charles Kareah is a guy who every day does every single thing right from the second he wakes up to the second he goes to bed. Okay, I can look at him at the end of the day, start of the day, I say, hey, Charles, tonight, what are you going to weigh? And he'll say 230.5. Okay, and he'll get on the scale before he leaves the building, and he's 230.5. Okay, that's the type of kid he is. So I know exactly what I'm getting. I know that if we as a coaching staff work our butts off to coach him, I know what kind of player he's going to be. It was kind of a no-brainer when we had a spot and we have a need, who our top priority was.
When you're trying to install a defense that a lot of these guys, like you said, are new to this system, to have a secondary of guys that have played multiple systems, played a lot of college football, how much ahead of the curve are you with those guys?
We're ahead of the curve because the guys, they have experience in how to act and how to carry themselves in a college program, and how to practice. But we're ahead because throughout the last few months, several times a week, these guys get together. I have nothing to do with it. They get together and they go through the plays themselves, right? I put a big onus on them. It's their team. They play the game. It's their defense. So, they got together themselves. They won it for themselves. So whether or not they knew what they were doing before they came in here, God knows how many times they're out here on this field going through the plays this summer, just them alone.
Why did you want Sanders Ellis? Kind of talk about his skill set, what he brings.
Big physical football player. And again, guy he's an athlete and he's big. And at a young age, at his last place, he made a lot of football plays. He's still got a long way to go, and he knows that. And we've been working with him every single day. And you see it day by day by day. He becomes a better football player. So obviously you see a young kid with size, talent, speed. That checks all the boxes. Then you meet the kid and you talk to him and you understand what kind of person he is, what kind of human he is, how he cares about football. And you realize, okay, this kid's going to fit in. And, there were some guys at Missouri that kind of, fit his build too. So one's playing for the Kansas City Chiefs. He's pretty good. So they kind of look alike. Hopefully we can get them to be like that.
You guys added some additional edge rush talent in the spring. Just where do you feel like that group is right now in the pass rush that you're going to try to create?
I am a firm believer that creating pass rush is about who wants it more and who goes the hardest, who's got more effort, who's not going to give up on a play. So we have a little bit of ways to go in terms of that. But just overall, in terms of trying to get a one-on-one pass rush and getting guys to win, we have that. We have that. We have to see it every day. You got guys, Trey Smith, Braylon Charles, new guy, Nunley, Mitchell, CJ Madden, right? You got all those guys, they got ability. It's, and a lot of them I named are new to this program, right? So it's teaching them how to play hard. And just, them understanding what's going to make them successful as a pass rusher. I turned on Aiden Hutchinson's film before he got hurt last year, and he was number one in the NFL in sacks before he got hurt. Okay, you could go through, I think he had 10 sacks at the time. Okay, he made one pass rush move. The rest was just him playing really freaking hard. Okay, so if we can get those guys to do that, they're going to be successful.
Coach Odom said, on game days, you like to be on the field. That's true. And then why do you like being on the field on game day?
You can just feel the emotion. You can feel the emotion. You can make adjustments when you need to right away. Everybody talks about halftime adjustments. Okay, that's not real. We make adjustments on the spot as it goes. Drive comes off the field. We're going to make adjustments every single time, good or bad. Okay, so being down there, being able to communicate, see the guys face to face, understand like, hey, here's how this guy's feeling, here's how he's doing. Some guys get beat, right? You want to go talk to them, make sure they're going to be all right. Make sure, hey, let them know, hey, we're going to call this next time, and you're going to go make a play. Okay, so there's a lot of things like that. Or, heck, I remember last year, we were a good team, and we got into a game late in the year. We were supposed to win and win handily. In the first drive, they throw a bomb for a touchdown for about 50 yards, right? Well, at that point, you got to get the guys together, regroup, and I got to be there, and they got to see me, and I got to see them. They got to see that, hopefully, me calling the plays. I'm standing there, and it's like, guys, we're okay, we're fine, okay? We're gonna change this, change that, and it ain't gonna happen again, right? And they can see me, and then they can have confidence to go back out there and play ball.
Do you have any eyes in the sky? One guy you trust?
Yeah, I have a lot. I have a whole sideline, and I have eyes in the sky. I have everything. So, there's a lot of people here. So first off, Neil Renner helps me every day with the linebackers. I couldn't do all that we do with teaching the linebackers and all that without him. And on game day, as you're calling plays in the game, looking at the whole defense, you need somebody focused on the linebackers. So, you need that as well. So he helps me there. Ronell Perkins is a college teammate of mine from Missouri. Actually, I played against him in high school football too. We won by like 50. But so I've known him my whole life, and for the last 2 years, he's been up in the box helping me out. I got another guy, Mitch Dolenart, came with me from UNLV. He goes up and he charts a lot of things. But nowadays you got the iPads on the sideline too. Mm-hmm. So I got those guys that can go up there and they can talk to me in the play. And a lot of those guys, they understand what I'm looking for, and they've been around me long enough. Me and Perk were teammates. Perk was a safety. I was a middle linebacker. We understand each other. We get it. Me and Coach Renner. Coach Renner was a graduate assistant at the University of Missouri when I was a linebacker there, right? And then when I first started working in college football, I worked right next to Coach Renner the whole time, right? So we have a lot of history. They know kind of like what I'm seeing or what I think I'm seeing, and how to help me. And then, I also need a lot of people, and I have it on my staff that I'm not right 100% of the time. Okay, and they got to tell me I'm wrong, and I'm good with that. Like, I'm good. Tell me I'm wrong, because I'm not the smartest person in the world, right? So I have all of that, guys. Coach Clark's a huge help. Charles Clark's a huge help. Jake Trump's another college teammate of mine. Like, we all just mesh together well, and I think they know that they can tell me, they can tell me what they feel, and I'm gonna be all right with it.
You got some beef on the interior with TJ, with Chops. You talked about them in the spring, but how they've grown in there, just communication and working together.
TJ Lindsey's a heck of a football player. He's very talented, quick, big. He did the necessary work to put on weight that he needed to once he got here in the off season. But the one guy who has made huge progress is Chops. Chops has made huge strides personally just with himself and how he plays and how hard he plays the game. And that's a big fella, man. You get a big fella playing hard and mean and angry up there, like that creates a lot of problems. And he's done that. You know, I tell the linebackers, like, that better be your best friend. Okay, because he, and it goes back to the same thing we're trying to get everybody to do. He plays really hard. I don't know that when we first got here in the spring, that if you sat Chops down, like, hey, do you play as hard as you can? I don't know what he would say. Now, I know exactly what he would say, okay, because he plays hard as heck, and for a big dude, it's impressive. It's very impressive, and he does it every day, not just one day here and there. So it's awesome to see.
At this stage of camp, when you have a scrimmage practice or practice with a lot of scrimmage periods, what are you looking for? What are you hoping to get out of at this juncture of the camp? Like how?
Well, I just think as you evaluate players, how they're going to play, what they're going to do, there's practice and there's game day. And I know from being in these situations, especially scrimmage one at fall camp, man, in some of these players' minds, it's game day coming up. It's, man, I got to do it. This is my chance. This is my shot. All the pressure is on the line for them. Okay, so then you see, okay, how are you going to perform under pressure? How are you going to perform when the series goes for 9 plays instead of 4, like we do in practice, or instead of 6? You know, in game, right? It's a game, right? So the other team can score touchdowns. Okay, so you screw something up, you get scored on, whatever it is. How you respond, how do you react, right? We'll have drives where maybe the offense will turn it over. Okay, that means we get an interception in scrimmage, so that's great, right? But that means somebody on sideline is going to have to hop up and go out there and play, right? How can we react in those situations? It gives you a whole new set of emotions for the players and a new set of things that you can evaluate that it's going to be the same as it is in game week, right? You got practice, but come Saturday, the lights come on, we want to know how you're going to play, right? So it's a lot about that when it comes to scrimmage time.
Anything else?